All right, welcome back to another one of our film reviews. Today we are talking Seattle Seahawks, your Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks, and we're going to talk Grey Zabel and his dominating performance in the biggest game of the year. This rookie was a fan favorite all season long, and he stepped up in the biggest moment. We'll break down everything he did so well. As always, in the comment section below, give us any feedback you might have. If you're a fan of film reviews and want to help support us so we can do more of them, consider becoming a member of our channel. There's a link in the description box below that will take you right there. But without further ado, let's jump right into the film. All right, let's get started with the very first play of the game here. And there's Grey Zabel, of course, at left guard for the Seattle Seahawks. And it's going to be a simple inside zone concept. We're going to get zone double team right here, working up to 14. Zone double team right here, working up to 51. Wide receiver coming from the outside and get out to the safety. Backside scoops here, backside scoops here. Running back working this track, trying to find a hole wherever he can, potentially bouncing it outside, which is what he does on this particular play. But guys, I want you to watch Zabel one-on-one against number 97. A little bit of help here before the left tackle works up to the next level, but mainly this is a one-on-one block by the rookie, and he dominates, puts 97 in the dirt, opens up the hole. Let's check it out. There's a snap. There's the handoff. Bounces outside. Gets the edge. First down. Nice play to get the game going. All right, let's watch Grey Zabel here. Again, his job is to try and reach number 97, a 3 technique lined up on his outside shoulder. Reaches him right there. That's winning football. Right there, that's good enough. But watch what happens next. Drives his feet, puts him in the dirt. That's what separates Grey Zabel from a lot of other offensive linemen. That's what separates the good offensive lineman from the great, like Grey Zabel is becoming. It's the finish. It's the mentality. You talk about a game-changing play to start the Super Bowl. This is what you're talking about. This is sending a message to the Patriots that the Seattle Seahawks are going to play 60 minutes of physical, aggressive football to the whistle every single snap. 97 is a good player, and he beat Grey Zabel on a couple plays over the course of the game. But Zabel right here in a one-on-one block in a tough situation reaches a 3 technique on the onset, which right here is great, but then finishes them into the turf. You talk about setting an attitude, sending a message the first snap of the game. This is what you want. Nice job here by number 76. All right, for the wide copy, get a really good look at it right here. You can see Zabel reaches him and then finishes him, torques him into the ground. Now, listen. You can make an argument that 97 kind of trips over some bodies right there and falls down, and maybe that was the case. Maybe not. Maybe Grey Zabel just physically dominated him. But regardless, he reaches him, and at the end of the play, 97's got his face mask full of Santa Clara turf, and Grey Zabel's driving him into the dirt. That's winning football. You talk about attitude, you talk about physicality. This is exactly what you're talking about, guys. This is what separates teams that make the playoffs, maybe win a game or two in the playoffs, to Super Bowl champions. It's that next level finish. I always talk about there's 3 elements to every play. There's the surge. That's the beginning, the first 2 steps. There's the counter. That's the counter moves between the 2 players. And then there's the finish. And this is what I want to see with the finish every single time from offensive linemen, putting the defender in the dirt. Great job by Zabel. All right, this next play was one of my favorite blocks from Zabel the entire game. And there he is, of course, at left guard for the Seattle Seahawks. This is going to be a simple downhill concept at the end of the game trying to run the clock. So we're going to get all the offensive linemen working this direction right here, base block there. We're going to get the fullback, which is an offensive lineman, lined up as a fullback. He's going this direction. 81's going to come in motion, help the center out inside, and try to work up to the next level. But what's going to happen is Zabel's going to be one-on-one with this 2-eye. We call him a 2-eye technique because he's lined up on the inside eye of the guard there. If he was lined up on the outside shoulder, we'd call that a 3 technique. But he's lined up over here on the inside eye, so it's a 2-eye. Now this defensive tackle right here tries to get Hugh. He tries to jump outside and avoid the block. Zabel gets on him and again runs his feet, blows him out of the hole, creates a huge crease that the running back hits. Let's check it out. Little motion. There's a snap. There's a handoff. Huge hole. Number 9 off to the races. Should have been the game-ending touchdown, but again, penalty was called on this, bringing it back on the center. Let's check out this penalty first. Center right here fires off, gets on the linebacker. I guess technically. I mean, it's a little ticky-tacky because it's sort of hand-to-hand fighting inside, but right there, your hand's outside the framework, on the outside of the shoulder at the point of attack. They're going to call that. It's just the way it is. But let's look at Zabel right here. Steps into the 2-eye, bounces out. So right here, this guy thinks he's going to beat Zabel and get a tackle for loss. Instead, Zabel gets on him, drives his feet, and opens up this crease. This is the finish that I talk about, guys. Sometimes it results in putting defenders into the turf like we saw in the first play of this film review. Sometimes it results in driving guys out of the hole. Look at this massive crease. Again, this is a defensive tackle playing selfish football. He's jumping away from the block. That's terrible. That's losing football. That's how you lose a Super Bowl, by the way. And again, discipline from the Seattle Seahawks. Zabel the entire time. Good feet, good balance. This guy tries to jump around. You blow him out of the way, create this massive hole. Kenneth Walker does the rest. Great job once again by the young guard. All right, from the wide copy, get a really good look at Zabel right here in the middle of your screen. Watch him fire off with the snap. 94 jumps out of the way. He runs his feet, opens up the crease, and Kenneth Walker's gone. It all starts up front, guys. And it's all about running your feet and finishing. I'm sure I sound like a broken record, and regular viewers of my film reviews will probably say, listen, Nick, we've heard you say 5 million times. Running your feet, run your feet, run your feet. That's how you win. You got to run your feet. But this is why, guys. This is how you open up huge holes in the biggest game of the year. You run your feet. Even when 94 right there tries to jump out of the way, he's got a little swim move going on. But if you stay with the block and you have a high effort play and keep moving your feet, good things happen. You can make an argument the reason this hold happens with the center is right there he stops moving his feet a little bit. If he keeps driving his feet and trying to square up a little bit more towards the end, I don't think he gets called. Now, it's a tough block, so I'm not going to blame the center too much. But still, you run your feet like we see here from Grey Zabel, you create a massive hole, you get 94 completely blown out of the way. Remember, 94's responsibility is either to be the A-gap defender, which is basically right around the football, or maybe the B-gap defender, which would be this blue part right here between the ball and the white part of the NFL logo right there. Where does he end up? All the way in the middle of the red letter. We're talking worst case scenario for him, 2, 3, 4 yards out of the hole. Huge crease. Kenneth Walker takes it to the house. Winning football is about running your feet. That's what Grey Zabel has done all season long, and he continued that in the Super Bowl. All right, sticking with the running game, there's Grey Zabel, of course, at left guard for the Seattle Seahawks. This time he's going to pull and be the lead blocker on the edge, picking up the edge defender right here. We're going to get a down block from the tight end and a down block from the tackle, and the running back's going to fall through just like this. We talk about running your feet, which Grey Zabel, of course, does and did all night long and has done throughout his entire career, his rookie season so far. But it's also staying on the block. It's not just running your feet with no purpose. Grey Zabel gets on this defensive end and keeps working, allows the running back to eventually get outside for a big play. Let's check it out. There's a snap. There's the handoff. Looks bottled up, but now gets to the edge. Makes a man miss. Breaks a tackle. Huge run down the sideline. Big play. Ends up being a scoring drive. All right, let's go all the way back to the very beginning here. Let's look at Grey Zabel. Left guard pulling out. I love the athleticism. Look how quick he gets out of his stance and gets out of there. Right? He's already to the defensive end. Everyone else is just making contact as well. You talk about movement, great athleticism. That's what I love to see. Now, I don't love this from the right tackle. Ugh. Listen, that can happen sometimes. I think he gets tripped up right there. Oh, yeah, he trips over number 90. Hey, listen, football can be ugly sometimes in the trenches. But let's look at Zabel. He gets out of there, good athlete. Contact right there. This looks like it's a dead play, right? They got penetration. They got bodies inside. They got pursuit. Doesn't look like it's going to work. But Zabel stays with it. He stays on his guy, doesn't hold. Kenneth Walker does the rest with a really nice run. Again, running your feet, staying with it, high effort, high motor. This is winning football. Again, he's a great athlete. He's a powerful guy. We see it here. We've seen it all season long. But it's the next level effort and focus and determination that separates the good from the great. And the Super Bowl and winning one is all about greatness. It's all about the men that step up when the opportunities are there and go above and beyond the initial design of the play. Because right here, all right, he's blocking the right guy. He's out in space, was a good athlete. That could be enough. But he stays with it, keeps working. You notice how he always keeps running his feet and moving his feet to square him up right there at the end. And that little effort right there, without doing anything stupid, right? He could have held, could have grabbed cloth, could have done something dumb. So he's a smart player too. He opens up the crease, though, again, allowing the running back to get to the outside because of his effort, because of his intensity, because of his focus. And by the way, I'm going to give some credit where credit is due. How about number 75 on the backside? You talk about effort. Right there, getting that one extra block to make sure number 90 doesn't pursue from the backside. Again, that's what Seattle brings to the table. How about 67? Staying on guys, working his feet the entire time. Staying on him, staying on him, staying on him. Look at that, staying on him. Look at that. How about effort? This is what the Seahawks offensive line brought all night long. Was it a perfect performance from Seattle offensively? Not even close. But thanks to the effort of guys like Grey Zabel and other linemen and other players on this offense, they came away big winners. All right, from the wide copy, get a really good look at Zabel. Watch him pull, engage, stay with it, stay with it. Allows the running back to get outside. Big play. Good effort from Kenneth Walker. Really good run. One of the things you'll notice right here on contact, bang, he catches it a little bit, right? Doesn't pancake him, doesn't blow him out of the way, right? Again, it looks like the defense has him pretty well contained, but Zabel stays with it. And how about 88 staying with it? How about 67 staying with it? Grey Zabel had a nice day. I mean, he wasn't perfect. Like I said, he got beat earlier by Milton Williams. He actually got beat later in the game by Milton Williams on a pass rush play, and it was not perfect. It never is. It's a Super Bowl. You're playing a good team. Of course there's going to be bad plays. But one of the things Seattle showed all night long was they stayed with it. Championship effort. That's coaching, that's culture, that's locker room, and it's the players. John Schneider drafting high-effort guys. Clint Kubiak and Mike McDonald coaching up high-effort guys. This is what it takes to win a Super Bowl, and we all saw it Sunday evening. All All right, let's get into some pass protection. There's Grey Zabel right there at left guard for the Seattle Seahawks. And this is going to be a standard pass protection call where these three guys over here are going to be on the play side, and they're all going to take the gap to the right. Right tackle is going to take this gap, right guard's going to take this gap, and the center is going to take this gap, which means on the back side, the left side, we got man-on-man. Man-on-man right here, and man-on-man Grey Zabel right here on this defensive lineman. Now, this is a tough situation for Zabel because he's got a 4-eye technique or a wide 3 technique, whatever you want to call him. He's got a lot of green grass to operate. This guy right here, he can go through this gap, he can go all the way around, or he can try and go through. So it's a tough block from Zabel. He's got to be on his toes, and he does a great job. This was an under-the-radar play. Turn what could have been a 3rd and long. It was a short pass to 36. His effort got it to 3rd and short. Was a really nice job by Seattle in 36. But Zabel, underrated part of this concept. Let's check it out. There's a snap. Sam Darnold hits a check down, makes people miss, makes more people miss, north and south. Nice effort. Really well done by 36. But you know what else was really well done? This pass pro from Zabel. Gets out there a little bit, chops his feet in the ground. I love how he attacks the defensive lineman. And he gets beat right there. Not great, right? The initial surge, swing move. But what does he do, guys? He runs his feet, puts him in the turf. I know I must sound like a broken record, guys, but this is what winning looks like. Effort, physicality, finish the play. I mean, this is a really good player, a Pro Bowl caliber player, had a really nice season, had a really good game. He ends up face full of turf because Grey Zabel runs his feet and finishes people. Not only that, because of 76's effort, he takes out another defensive lineman, actually takes out 2 more as well. Basically stopped the entire pass rush concept on the right side of the Seattle offense because he's running his feet, pushing his guy into the other Patriots. I know I've said this 5,000 times, but I'm going to keep saying it, guys. This is what winning is. This is why you win. This is why Seattle won. We can talk about coaching and X's and O's and obviously tackling and the defense and all that. And of course, that's incredibly important. But when it comes to offensive football, why Seattle got to the Super Bowl and why they won it, it's because of effort like guys from Grey Zabel. It's become effort from guys like Sam Darnold and Jackson Smith and Jigba, Rashid Shaheed, all of these guys. It's not just doing the bare minimum. Right there, that's probably enough. Washing him down right there, okay, that's probably good enough right there. Instead, he takes it a whole nother level, keeps driving and finishes the play. You talk about an attitude setter once again. 97, he's been face full of turf all game long. He got wore down as the game progressed, and this Seattle offense wore the Patriots defense down as the game progressed, especially in the 4th quarter when it came time to bury them. What we saw Sunday is an example of effort, physicality, and toughness, and just like you see right here from Grey Zabel, it's what allowed the Seahawks to come away with a Super Bowl ring. All right, from the wide copy, get a really great look at this. I mean, watch him go inside. He thinks he's got him beat. Instead, he's buried in the turf. Look at this next level finish right here. Talk about an attitude, a mauler inside. Look at this. All right, he's on the ground. No, I'm just going to bury you even more. Jump on top of his back. I love that. Bury these guys into the turf. Set the tone. I don't care if you're a rookie going against a Pro Bowler. Listen, this is a Super Bowl, man. That rookie stuff's out the window. You've played what? This is your 20th game at this point, I think. Not counting preseason and training camp and all that. You're a vet as far as I'm concerned. You maul these guys. I don't care who's lined up across from you, and Zabel does it. As a former offensive lineman, guys, I can't get over this. This is awesome. Is it perfect technique? No, he misses with his hands, right? Not great. You could say his feet are out of whack. He's got the wrong foot up. He should have his right inside foot should be up. You see how the tackle right here, how his right foot's up, left foot back? Zabel's out of whack. Technically, it's not perfect. There's things to improve on. But you know what? I almost don't care. Because when you play physical and you run your feet and you maul these human beings, you win. Great job by 76. All right, going back to the running game, and there's Zabel, of course, at left guard for the Seattle Seahawks. And this is going to be an inside zone concept working to the right side of the Seahawks offense. We're going to get 81 coming in motion here to kick out the in-man line of scrimmage. We're going to get a base block here. We're going to get a zone double team right here, working up to the next level. We're going to get Zabel doing a little tight scoop action, working up to the next level here. We're going to get a wide scoop here, wide scoop here. The running back's going to take this track and try and find a hole wherever he can. As was noted numerous times from the broadcast, number 9, Kenneth Walker, was so patient, and this is a great example of it. He attacks the hole, waits, sees the hole, and then hits it for a really big play. But this only works from a running back perspective if you have guys like Grey Zabel getting on guys and staying on them, especially on the backside pursuit. Let's check it out. There's the motion. There's the snap. There's the handoff. Patient, hits the hole, into the next level. Nice run by Kenneth Walker. Big run. All the way down the red zone. Nice work. All right, let's go all the way back to the beginning here. Let's give some credit where credit is due. How about the center getting on this defensive tackle right here, staying with it, working the entire time, not giving up. Nice job there. How about the right guard and right tackle working up to the next level here, getting on guys, driving them out of the way. Nice work there. But how about Grey Zabel? Let's talk about 76 here on the backside. Again, does a tight scoop technique right there, helping out his tackle. Gets on the linebacker, 14. So right there, again, Kenneth Walker's patient. He hasn't hit the hole yet. Zabel engages and stays on the entire way and then lets him go. Again, doesn't hold. Smart player. Right here, he could have held. He could have tackled him, could have done something. What does he do? Lets him go. Nice. Again, smart football player. Sustaining blocks, guys. Again, it's the effort. It's the physicality. It's staying on people. It's moving your feet. It's all those things I've said 500,000 times. That's what we saw all night long from Seattle. And as good as Kenneth Walker was, and he was fantastic and very deserving of the MVP, these guys up front, led by Grey Zabel, won the day with their effort and staying on blocks, moving these Patriots out of the way. All right, from the wide copy, you get a really good look at it. There's the man in motion. There's the snap. So right there, it doesn't look like there's a big hole, right? Now, he sees it at the very ending. Let me back up a little bit. Right there. Doesn't look like he's got much of a hole, right? They've got a little bit of a chance there, but the defensive tackle's got it blown up. But you can see on the backside, they have 94 reached, and Zabel's up to the linebacker. What makes zone running plays pop is when you have the backside sealed off, and that's exactly what happens here between the left tackle and the left guard, Grey Zabel. They get the backside sealed off. The patience of Walker works. Good effort on the play side, and a big play. Again, what makes a 8-yard run into a 28-yard run is blocking on the backside like we see here, preventing that pursuit from getting there. Nice job by Zabel at getting just enough help on number 94. I'd like him ideally to maybe stay there a little bit longer, but listen, I don't hate the fact he's trying to get up to the next level quickly. Again, effort, urgency, love to see that. The left tackle does a great job sealing off 94 there on his own. That's nice work there. But Zabel, right here, gets on him. Doesn't let him go, stays on him, but when it's time and the linebacker's releasing and he could potentially get called for holding, he releases, no penalty called, big run for Seattle, great play all around. All right, sticking with the running game, and there's Zabel, of course, at left guard, and it's going to be another zone concept, this time working to the offensive right. We're going to get the tight end coming in motion pre-snap to kind of lead through the hole just like this, and we're going to get zone blocking everywhere across the board, standard zone schemes right here. But Zabel's got a tough assignment. He's got to reach and cut off this one technique, which is a really tough block. We call him a one technique because he's on the outside shoulder of the center. He's got to be on his high horse because this center is trying to get up and cut off that linebacker, which means this defensive tackle, he's got a great angle to blow this play up in the backfield. So a lot of times offensive linemen in this situation, they kind of just run parallel to try and just prevent the penetration. Maybe the running back can cut behind, but Zabel's such a good athlete that he actually cuts off 95 completely. It's a great block. Doesn't result in a big Seahawks run, but it's a phenomenal rep from the young guard. Let's check it out. There's motion. There's a snap. There's a handoff. Not a whole lot there. Let's go look at Zabel here. Again, this is one of those under-the-radar plays that's very impressive. He cuts off 95 right there. Look at that. Completely sealed off. Now, I think this center is supposed to get up to 14. You see how 14 flew out of there with the motion? Right? And basically what happens is the Patriots essentially overloaded. They got, 4 guys on that side, and they're running right there, right? There's just too many bodies for them to handle. Ends up being a dead play. The pursuit on the backside either. You can see the tackle does a decent job on 90, but they can't cut off 90. There's just too many bodies. The Patriots have too many forces committed to stop the run. Listen, sometimes the defense has numbers. But from an athletic play, from that perspective, this is as good as it gets from Grey Zabel. He cuts them off, reaches them, and secures them just like this. If they had done a better job on the play side, if they had better numbers, right? If 14 gets a hat on a hat, if they don't miss number 51, who's got number 94 here? Is this the right guard? Yeah, if 94 doesn't beat the right guard there, this play has a chance. Because you can see right here, they've got the backside sealed. I always say what makes 4 or 5-yard zone plays into 25-yard zone plays, 8-yard plays into 28-yard plays, getting the backside cut off. And on the previous play, it was Zabel getting up to the linebacker. Here he's doing a great job cutting off the defensive tackle. Again, this is a tough play. A lot of times with this kind of block, guards get beat across their face and they get blown up in the backfield. Instead, Zabel does a great job using his athleticism, 1, 2, 3, 4 steps, gets him completely reached, turns back around, gets him blocked. Really nice play from Zabel's perspective. Again, not great from Seattle, but a phenomenal example of Zabel's athleticism. All right, from the wide copy, get a really good look at Zabel right there. Again, cut him off, reach him, secure him. Again, doesn't look like anything impressive, but I can't tell you how many guards just can't make this block, and this play isn't in the playbook for so many teams. Right, because right here, most teams, if they ask their guard to do that, this defensive tackle would be blown up 3 yards in the backfield, tackling the running back there. So instead of gain of a yard or two, like it was, even though the play side guard got beat, it would have been a 2 or 3 yard loss. A lot of teams don't run this play, but Zabel, because of his athleticism, because of his talent, allows the Seahawks to have a lot more flexibility in their play calling in the run game. And I've talked about Zabel's athleticism sometimes this season, but I've primarily focused on his effort and physicality, and that's my favorite part of his game. But there are flashes like this play where it's like, my goodness gracious, he is a special player. He's not just a first-round physical mauler. He's a first-round physical freak in terms of athletic talent. He showed that at times over the course of the season. He showed that in the Super Bowl. It's a main reason why his future is so bright. All right, let's end on a really nice pass protection rep, and there's Grey Zabel, of course, they're at left guard, and this is going to be a standard pass protection concept. The play side of the offensive line is going to be these three guys. They're all going to take the gap to the right. Right tackle is going to take this gap, right guard's taking this gap, and the center's taking this gap, which means we're man-on-man on the backside, man-on-man here, and man-on-man over here. Ends up being a stunt by the New England Patriots. They're going to have 97 work up the field, then go out. They're going to have 44 go up the field, then loop around, and they do a great job picking up. Zabel, again, showcases his talent, picks up the stunt beautifully, absolutely washes 44 down inside, allows Sam Darnold to throw the football for a nice first down. Let's check it out. Pre-snap motion. There's a snap. Good protection. Quick throw. Nice throw. Beats the coverage. Big play. Nicely done. How close is this to being knocked down? Pretty darn close. That's a good pass, guys. Nice job by 88 as well. Let's look at Zabel. Sees 97 go away. Immediately picks up 44. Washes him down inside. Nice work. Left tackle then picks up 97 right here. Beautiful. Look at this throwing lane. Again, when this happened during the broadcast, people were like, wow, this is a great throw by Sam Darnold. And it was, right? Tough coverage, right on the money, first down. But how do you get great throws, great protection, and big throwing lanes? You see this? No one's batting it down. He's got no one around him. And how do you get this great protection? Grey Zabel and the left tackle picking up the stunt and making it look easy. Again, the Seattle Seahawks won because of their defense. Sam Darnold, they're really great coaching. All of that's really important. But their offensive line effort, their physicality, again, you can see it right there. What's he doing? He's running his feet, guys. Just to finish on another example of Grey Zabel running his feet. And that's why they won, and that's why I think they will continue to win even in the future. Because they have a guys up front, led by number 76, who's going to be there for a long, long time, who have the talent, they have the athleticism, that's undeniable, but they have the right mindset and the right effort, that championship level effort that we all saw on Sunday, and that's a big reason why Grey Zabel's future is so bright and the Seahawks offense isn't going anywhere.